much. And I would like to ask the next speaker, Major Martin Benda, who is the assistant professor at the Department of Engineering Technology at the University of Defense. And he is working his whole life with temporary bridges, designing and constructing of them in many parts of the world. So Martin, the stage is yours. You can begin with your presentation.
Good afternoon. I will start with sharing. Can I ask, is this visible? Does it work? Perfect. Thank you for my introduction. I am assistant professor at the Engineering Technology Department, as was said. And last year, I participated in the construction of temporary bridges in Slovenia. I took part in both the reconnaissance of the situation and the final construction of the bridges itself. And in today's presentation, I would like to briefly introduce my own experience and observation during this section. I'm not sure if it's here. Sorry. Yeah. Slovenia was hit by devastating floods in the beginning of the August last year, which affected up to 2/3 of its territory, and Slovenia asked for humanitarian help from the states of the NATO and from the European Union. And the Czech Republic decided to join the humanitarian aid and offered offered 108 meters of the heavy bridge set, which might be possible to build, for example, 3 bridges with a length of 36 meters. So the reconnaissance group was sent to Slovenia on August 15. The group was composed of a RECO and measure team, and the commander of the reconnaissance group was an engineer expert of temporary bridge construction. The RECO finally took place in a total of 7 locations to possible to build the bridges, but finally only 3 of them were selected for the construction of the bridges. You can see them on the paper. Finally, the last one, the local location, Žalec, was not confirmed because Slovenia side was asked that some of existing construction that should be used as a bearing is stable and is possible to use a pillar, but however this didn't happen, and additional reconnaissance for the first side was arranged during the construction of first 2 bridges. The first was made a reconnaissance of the destroyed bridge in the village of Černá nad Koroškom. The bridge was important for the Slovenian side because they wanted to repair the communication on the left bank, and there was no other options to get other bank during repairing. Then they wanted to build the temporary bridge. Necessary ground walls before building the temporary bridge was proposed. Mostly it was about preparing supports for the bridge, and after the building, the Slovenian side was asked to confirm that the final result is made, and they asked to send the photo documentation, the final works. For each bridge was prepared assemble design. There were designed single-story double wall 21 long bridge for the location of Černá nad Koroškom. For this one-story bridge, a standard method of construction was proposed by longitudinal extension on the tracks from the right bank and with the using launching nose. There were sufficient space to build up tracks and pushing the bridge. Materials of the construction of bridge structure were also prepared and based on the assembled design. Destroy bridge near the village of Mežica was chosen as the second location suitable for constructing, and it was for the simple reason because all the bridges in the vicinity were destroyed, and it was impossible to get on the other side of the river by the car. So the Slovenian side asked us to build the bridge on this location. It was not very easier, but we prepared some solution that they accepted and promised to build the preparing the bearings and supports. We then informed that the necessary groundwork must be carried before the building, and they promised that their confirmation by sending photo documentation after completion was condition for the sending the construction team with the temporary bridge. However, during the construction of the bridge in Černá, the previous bridge, the record group inspect the preparation works in Mežica and proposed a minor modification, and it was made during 2 days, so it was very quick from the Slovenian side to set up their bearing and then support. The temporary bridge was designed as a double story and double wall, 24-meter long, and there were atypical method of extension developed with the longer launching nose and shorter tracks because there was not possible to build sufficient long tracks for this type of the bridge. There was a smaller place on the road, and subsequently the stability of the structure during launching was calculated, and the assembly design was added with this detailed assembly procedure. So this is the step-by-step the launching procedure with calculation of a stability. The construction of the bridge took place in these dates. The location for the construction of the last one, was finally chosen on the 6th of September, when the construction of the first bridge was underway, and the proposed groundworks and assembly design were created directly in Slovenia. For the construction of the bridges, construction team was assembled. It consists of the commander, drive force for transport equipment, 2 assembly teams. Each had 9 members. In addition, the team contained an operation officer, logistic officer, construction supervision group, and this group also carried out a record task, and the geodetic group for surveying the last construction site in the Ljubno of Savini. The Slovenian side demanded to be first build the bridge in Črna na Koroškom. The Slovenian army promised technology for the building of the bridge and transport of the material. And for this reason, the Czech Republic army didn't send the crane for building and only the necessary transport for equipment and the personnel. However, the promised technology was unfortunately not available, and therefore a car with the hydraulic arm was ordered to the representative of civil protection from Slovenian army, which would use the boat for the transport material from the cars on the building site and also for the building. This technique, the car with the hydraulic arm was sufficient for the construction of a single story type, but the representative of Slovenian army were told that for the next bridge that will be bigger, with big construction, would be necessary to have a technique with a greater range and transport capacity. Before start of building, an additional consultation was carried out with the Slovenian army about access of the bridge, but the modification corresponded almost with the original previous design. So modification access of the bridge did not affect the length or method of the building. So the placing of the construction site and construction of the tracks and the actual assembled design of the bridge were carried out according to prepared assembled design. The bridge was built and pushed over the obstacle in a total of 3 days. And due to time-consuming nature of the construction, the laying of the bridge was postponed to 7th of September, as the assembly of the launching nose. The road on the other bank was passable at the construction no longer restricted traffic. The bridge was placing on the bearing, and then the Slovenian side built the ramps to use the bridge. So the official transfer ceremony of the bridge took place on September 8th, and this photo representative the bridge in the January with the rest of the Christmas sun decoration. Building of the bridge is in Mežica began on 9th of September on a Saturday. In the morning, the traffic was stopped and the transport of the material and its storage at the construction site began. The building of the bridge for the Slovenian side was a major logistic problem because of the construction site was located on the backbone road that was very problematic to bypass. For this reason, the building of the bridge with a length of 24 meters was planned over the weekend from the 9th to 11th September, when there was less traffic and the traffic restriction would be as minimal as possible. Again, the car with the hydraulic arm was available for the handling of the material. However, this mechanization was a bit bigger transport capacity and was able to cover the entire construction site, even on the other side of the obstacle. The bridge was assembled and moved to the other bank, and the launching was partially disassembled using an excavator, which was the only mechanization that was possible to get on the other side. And finally, the bridge was placed on the piering on Monday, September 11, when the road was partially opened. The entrance to the bridge was solved by a direct crossing on the road. So in the previous case, it was ramps, and this was a direct crossing, and it was not possible to build, because there was no possible to build the ramps, because there were direct the road on the left bank. So now you can see as a picture how the structure looked in the January of this year. The last bridge was built near the village of Ljubno of Savini. The construction of the double-story and double-wall bridge with a length of 27 meters took place from 15 to 18 of September. Preparation work took place the first. Part of the tracks was built, and the material for construction of the tracks was transported on the place of the building the 15th of September. And building of the bridge structure started on 16th of September, when the material for the construction of the bridge was transported by firefighters from Czech Republic. And equipment that was provided for the construction was very similar to the previous building of the bridge in Vežica, and this auto with the hydraulic arm was able to cover the entire area of the construction site. The bridge was complete and placed on bearings on September 19. A day later, the material for the construction of the tracks was loaded and was taken back to the Czech Republic, and the bridge was handled over the Slovenian side, which finally completed the ramps. So now the construction is, the photo of construction is also from the January, from this January, in January of this year. So it was tried to be shorter, and if you have any question, please write them to the chat, and I will try to answer them during other presentation. That's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Martin.